Most actors have a type. Tom Cruise does impossible stunts. Denzel does dignified intensity. The Rock is, well, The Rock. But Kurt Russell was a Disney kid who became a grizzled anti-hero, who became an action star, who became America's favorite movie dad. And somehow, every single version made perfect sense. His career shouldn't work. Child stars crash and burn. Action heroes age out. Genre actors get typecast. But Russell's been working consistently since 1963, and he's never needed a comeback because, here's the thing, he never actually left. So, how did the guy from the computer wore tennis shoes become Snake Plissken, become Santa Claus? Let's talk about Hollywood's ultimate chameleon who never felt like he was changing. Kurt Russell started as a Disney kid in the 1960s. We're talking the computer wore tennis shoes, the barefoot executive, peak wholesome, peak family-friendly, peak this kid is going places or nowhere at all. And here's where it gets wild. The last thing Walt Disney ever wrote before he died was reportedly just 2 words on a notepad. Kurt Russell. Nobody knows why. Nobody knows what it meant. But Walt Disney's final written thought was about this kid actor, which is either the greatest vote of confidence in history or the setup for a horror movie that never got made. Most child stars don't make it. The statistics are brutal. But Russell had something going for him. He wasn't desperate. The guy played minor league baseball. He had options. He wasn't clinging to fame like it was oxygen. So, while other kid actors were spiraling, Russell was just being professional, showing up, doing the work, not making headlines for the wrong reasons, building a reputation as the most reliable guy in the room. It wasn't flashy, it wasn't dramatic, but it was the foundation for everything that came next. Then came John Carpenter. Picture this. It's the late 1970s. Carpenter is looking to cast Snake Plissken for Escape from New York, a one-eyed, gravelly-voiced anti-hero who doesn't give a damn about anything. And he looks at Kurt Russell and says, "Yeah, that's my guy." And somehow, it worked. The 1981 Escape from New York gave us Snake Plissken, and Snake Plissken gave Russell a new career. The eye patch, the growl, that specific I don't give a damn energy that would define an entire decade of action cinema. But wait, it gets better. 1982, The Thing, one of the greatest sci-fi horror films ever made. Russell plays MacReady, paranoid, pragmatic, deteriorating along with his entire Antarctic crew. It flopped at the box office. Critics hated it. But now, it's a masterpiece, and Russell's performance is a huge reason why. 1986, Big Trouble in Little China, action comedy perfection. Russell playing a character who thinks he's the hero, but is actually the sidekick. He was in on the joke, and the movie works because he committed completely to being kind of an idiot while still being cool. The Carpenter collaborations did something crucial. They showed Russell had range, real range. He could do horror, action, comedy, drama, and make it all feel grounded. These movies were failures when they came out, but they became cult classics, and they made Russell a legend. The Disney kid became the grizzled badass, and we believed both versions completely. So by the 1990s, Russell was an action star, but not a typical action star. Tango and Cash, 1989. Peak buddy cop ridiculousness with Sylvester Stallone. Backdraft, 1991. Serious dramatic chops as a firefighter with daddy issues. Tombstone, 1993. Wyatt freaking Earp in the most quotable Western ever made. Stargate, 1994. Leading man in a blockbuster that spawned an entire TV empire. And then there's Executive Decision, 1996, which deserves its own moment of appreciation. Steven Seagal was supposed to be the hero. Kurt Russell was supposed to be the nerdy analyst. Then, spoiler alert, they kill Seagal's character in the first act, and Russell has to save the day. Killing Steven before it was cool, iconic. But here's what's interesting about Russell's 90s. He never became too big. He didn't do the ego thing. He didn't demand ridiculous salaries or try to launch a franchise empire. He just picked interesting projects, worked with good people, and went home to Goldie Hawn. Speaking of which, Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn got together in 1983. They're still together. They never got married. In Hollywood years, that's approximately 4,000 years of relationship success. The man clearly knows how to commit without needing external validation, which might explain his entire career. By the late 90s, Russell wasn't chasing trends. He wasn't desperate for relevance. He was just that reliable guy who showed up, did great work, and made every project better. So here's what happened. Hollywood looked around in the 2000s and realized it needed elder statesmen. Cool dads, mentor figures, characters with gravitas who could also throw a punch and crack a joke. And they all called Kurt Russell. Quentin Tarantino cast him in Death Proof, 2007, as a stunt driver, because Tarantino understood that Russell was cinema history. James Gunn made him Ego the Living Planet in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 in 2017. Literally a cosmic god dad. Perfect casting. He became Mr. Nobody in the Fast and Furious franchise, the cool mentor figure who knows more than he's saying. And then, and I love this, he played Santa Claus in the Christmas Chronicles in 2018 and 2020 like he was doing a heist film. Leather jacket Santa, action hero Santa. I'm too old for this workshop, Santa. It absolutely should not work, but of course it does, because Kurt Russell commits completely to every bit. Tarantino put him in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, 2019, as a stunt coordinator, which is just chef's kiss perfect. Russell isn't just an actor at this point. He's a piece of Hollywood history, playing pieces of Hollywood history. The modern Kurt Russell era is about warmth without softness. He's cozy but capable, approachable but still kind of dangerous. He never retired, never stopped, never got desperate. He just kept being Kurt Russell and kept letting each generation discover what they needed him to be. Here's the thing about Kurt Russell. His career works because he never tried to be anything he wasn't. He didn't chase relevance. He didn't manufacture comebacks. He didn't reinvent himself with desperate pivots and publicist-approved redemption arcs. He just kept showing up and doing good work, and every decade found a different use for the same fundamental Kurt Russell-ness. In an industry that chews people up and spits them out, Russell's been working for 60-plus years with zero scandals, zero drama, and zero apparent effort, which is, of course, the result of enormous effort. He just made it look easy. So, what's your favorite Kurt Russell movie? And if you enjoyed this trip through 6 decades of cinema history, hit that subscribe button. Because if Kurt Russell can commit for 60 years, you can commit to one click.